Georgia 551. Finally, work has been somewhat cooperative enough that I can do another Toys R Us video, this time Nashua, New Hampshire, because we ran into a problem doing the Leominster one previously, where right at the very end I got caught, and, well, we don't want to risk anything. So, we're here at the Nashua one. You can kind of see there's a market basket across the street. That's not the camera lens. It really is kind of crap. Five Guys, Verizon, Modelo, Five Below. It's right next to the Pheasant Lane Mall. Whoa, that's a stretch. So, we're going to go incognito. So, when we do that, I do want to let you know the quality is definitely going to be crap. Camera's going to be zoomed in looking. It'll probably streak. And I'll try to align it as best as I can, but I'm not guaranteeing alignment will be too good. And per usual, I try not to get kids or other patrons in these places, especially kids. So, if we get any clear, we'll just edit them out per usual. So, on to the very grainy and slow, streaky footage, because, like I said, we don't want to get caught. We've already been hit once. So let's see how the Nashua store is doing. Yeah, the aim's a tad low. What you didn't see there, because it was a bit low, is they have now hiring posters, which is kind of odd. And I did manage to do okay with the footage. I mean, this store doesn't really look all that much like it's closing, except in a few areas. So we're going through the baby section, and there's nothing really that odd. In fact, the Leominster store, when I was caught, looked more empty than this. Quite a bit of stuff here, which was quite surprising. We are not going to go down and look at every aisle because, one, sometimes there's a customer, and two, like I said, it doesn't really look like that a lot has been moving, which is kind of odd. So we just ignore the full shelves for the most part. Now here's one section that does scream that it's closing, is they have cordoned off a couple corners of the building. Like I said, the camera's a bit zoomed in looking. There's nothing you can do about that. But we got a small section that's completely closed off, and we'll see another one. At this point, they are doing up to 40% off, but still a lot of things are around 10%. Here we are in the baby furniture section. What's funny is they have several signs that say that these fixtures and these particular cribs are not for sale, which I think in a going out of business thing you would want to. Sorry, temporarily out of stock. I almost got that in frame. I'm doing it blind, literally. So, yeah, when you're closing and you're getting rid of inventory, things are going to be out of stock, and I'm sure it's more than temporary. Just rushing through because, as I said, it doesn't really look much like anything has really sold at this store. Quite surprising. And we got all sorts of odd furniture. It's probably in the back somewhere, as it definitely doesn't look like normal furniture that Toys R Us would be selling. And a few car seats have sold. Otherwise, it doesn't really look all too empty. And right there, like I said, the aim is lower than I thought it was. So I was trying to aim for the lower shelves, not knowing the camera was already aiming there. So yeah, you got a floor shot, even though that was not really intended. But still, the footage is good enough. It's showing most of what I want you to see. And as I said, I can't really see what I'm shooting. This time I'm stretching to try to look up, and overshot. Wanted you to see the going out of business 40% off signs. Very hard to do, but I think I got got it fairly well. Yeah, we got a few holes here, but that's pretty much it, just a few. The bike rack, it's not as empty as the Leominster one, not even close, but the upper shelves, trying to get you to see it, those are empty. There you go. Trying to stretch, make it look like I'm yawning. So, try to keep it looking incognito. So, yeah, they still have a ton of these mechanical vehicles there. Then again, the Leominster one kind of had a ton of those as well. I also didn't spend a whole ton of time where there were a lot of things on the shelves because I also had other things I had to do. Whereas the other Toys R Us videos, that was my point pretty much. Take my time, look for employees. In this case, because it's incognito, I didn't care if employees were around. None of them were really onto this. Then we get to the video games section, which, unlike the one in Leominster, it's still kind of full. Outside of that empty shelf there. And here's another section that's completely closed off because, they have consolidated some of the stuff. Here we are. This is the PlayStation area. Not all too bad looking. And here's the Xbox area. Some of the upper shelves that you can't see in this video are a little empty. And they're offering, wow, 15% off. Boy, they're really almost giving it to you at a fair price. It's been well known that these liquidators will jack up the price and then take off the discount, 10% off nothing over there. Same thing, the empty Magic shelves. I'm referring to Magic the Gathering cards. They don't have as many tablets here in this location as Leominster, but they still have their full selection. And like I said, most of these shelves, they're still pretty full. One thing they do have here that the Leominster doesn't is they have the Marvel Arch. They have a whole section cordoned off for Marvel comic-based toys and dolls, what have not, action figures. Not really looking all that empty, especially when, like I said, they're offering very little off the already jacked up prices. So again, we're skipping some of the shelves because it just doesn't really look like they're going out of business. And getting into the smaller children toys. Like I said, moving at a pace, so shelves that aren't really all that empty. There's the Claire's. This one has a Claire's section, and there's still quite a bit of Claire's to purchase. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the stores that they're going to be hauling a lot of stuff out and moving into other Toys R Us locations that are selling things. Now we're working our way through the girl toy sections, like Barbie and what have not. We don't really go that much further because there was a family there, and of course, we don't want to get too close. I don't really want to get families and kids or anyone in the shots. I've mentioned that before, but I really, really do try. A lot of the professionals that go do this, they don't care who they get. Legally, they have the right to do so, but I like to try and give people their right to not be on camera if it's possible. If it ain't, it ain't. But still, I try. If they're really obvious, like a few videos I've done, I will edit them either completely out, block, put a box over their head so you don't see people, clearly. Art supplies, not really selling either. Pretty much like anything in this Toys R Us, it's not really selling. I'm just surprised the video games section had a ton of games in it. Then again, this Toys R Us is kind of a pain to get to. tons of traffic lights and then long waits. Very, not the easiest one to get to, and probably one of the turnoffs as to why nobody's buying anything here. That, and like I said, a few, like a half mile down the road's Pheasant Lane Mall, where they have a Target, which is apparently one of the reasons why Toys R Us is failing. Target and Walmart, they seem to have a expansive toy collection, not as big as Toys R Us, but big enough to put the final nails in the Toys R Us coffin. Of course, Walmart as well. So that's pretty much all there really is to show you. Again, the now hiring sign, which I find quite amusing. And that's it. Alright, we'll end it here in the men's room. Unlike the one at Whitney Field, they still seem to take care of how things are. And of course I'm recording this with nobody in here. Yeah, I'm not going to show that. I mean, just a little paper there, but not too bad. A little bit of graffiti over there. And toilet paper shoved in the toilet. Yeah, that's pretty much what we got. And now for the end. Before we go, I thought I'd show you some quotes that are found in the hallways along the bathrooms and the employee area. Although, we did not go into any actual employee areas. Enjoy! How ironic that this is in a Toys R Us. Apparently, other people can control your future. Alrighty. It looks like absolutely nothing's happening. Doesn't look like they're really selling anything. It looks as if it was entirely business as normal, as if it weren't closing. That's not very good, and I have to talk loud because somebody's going by with a loud car. Might have to put some drown-out music in, unless I go like this. And that'll be it for the video from the Nashua New Hampshire location. Georgia 551 saying, hope you enjoyed and have a good one.